hey, I'm going to try this thing where I bring this fly back to life.
So you found this ring, this magic ring, okay? And somehow you brought the fly back to life with the ring?
Yeah, I don't quite understand. I don't even understand the process of what happened from beginning to end, but I'll do my best to fill in the details. I saw a dead fly in my coffee cup. There was no sign of life, I'll put it that way, when I saw it in the morning.
So the fly was in your cup when you first saw your cup in the morning. So we know that he was at least floating in the coffee for 3 hours. Were you wearing the ring?
No. It just occurred to me that was an option. That there was an option for this creature to once again live. There was one time where I just sat down in my living room and I put on my Casina mind machine system.
Can you explain what that is that you do?
It flashes lights and it triggers your optic nerve directly. So you'll be seeing all these kaleidoscopic patterns.
Wow.
Trippy patterns, but you're not seeing them with your eyes. Optic nerve is seeing it directly. So it's really interesting. And so I'd just done a session. I'd sat down and maybe journeyed for 15 minutes or so. And then so I took the goggles off and then all of a sudden I'm sitting and it looked like, with my eyes open, I can just sort of get the impression that I'm sitting on the bridge of a starship. I can get the idea of what I'm doing, I'm moving my hands and I'm placing these colored squares, these panels of light. I'm maneuvering them in space. I received other pieces of information. It's like I kept waking up and I would hear my cat meow and then I see a big W made out of stars. I kept hearing 7-star system. 7-star system.
Wow.
And that happened, I don't know how many times, but it kept happening. Meow. And then 7-star system.
I'm the same kind of crazy as you. It's like, I really do believe in impossible things. Like, I really do believe that we only touch this much of life. Like, we don't realize how much ability we really have. And if you just try, you can probably do so many more things than you realize.
So the first session, or the where the story sort of starts, is she was taken back to the lifetime of a volcano.
Like she was the volcano?
It was lava inside the volcano. Wow. So I asked, what's happening? Tell me what's going on. Where are you? What's going on? And she says, I'm in a volcano. Oh, I'm lava. I said, well, tell me more about what's happening. She says, oh, I've run downhill and I've covered a whole village. I hear the people, they're telling me, they said,
this week on Beyond Numerology, I'm sitting down with Julia Wagner, a quantum healing practitioner, perspective shifter, and someone who will absolutely make you question what's possible. I found Julia in the most unexpected way, through a story about discovering a magical ring and bringing a fly back to life. The second I read it, I was like, okay, I need to talk to this girl. Because her mind doesn't just think outside the box, it completely ignores there ever was one. Julia's work is all about helping people connect with their subconscious to explore past lives and to shift the way they see reality. From deep hypnosis sessions to quantum healing experiences, she opens the door to answers that most people don't even realize they can access. In this conversation, we go to some pretty wild places. From past life regression to quantum timelines and shifting outcomes. And yes, we do talk about a fly who gets a second chance at life as we both try to make sense of what actually happened that bizarre day. This one is fun, a little mind-bending, and the kind of conversation that makes you stop and go, wait, what? So without making you wait any longer, let's get into it. Welcome to Beyond Numerology. I'm Tammy Lopresti, the creator of Cosmic Ascended Numerology, a rare and super accurate way of decoding who you are and why you're here. If you're new around here, I'm so glad you found us. And if you've been in my world for a while, then you already know that I don't do numerology like everyone else. Think of this podcast as your weekly spiritual hangout. a place where we dive into your soul's plan, uncover what you came here to learn, understand, and experience, and help you wake back up to the you that you came here to be. Every Friday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we record new episodes on Zoom and invite a live audience to hang out with us. This is your chance to be in the room while we chat with our guest of the week, do mini numerology readings, and enjoy occasional psychic insights from our guests. Whether it's card pulls, spirit guide messages, messages from loved ones on the other side, or other surprises that they might bring. Want the VIP experience? Stick around for the after show where you can hang out with me and the guest of the week to answer your own questions and get a behind-the-scenes look at the magic happening live. It's always fresh, always different, and always a good time. So whether you're tuning in live or catching the replay, welcome. I'm so happy you're here, and I have a feeling you're going to love it. Now let's go beyond numerology, because your soul's plan starts right now.
Hi everyone, we are here. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. So I have Julia Wagner with me. She is a QHHT practitioner and a whole bunch of other things. You can tell us what you are, like what your things are. What is it that you do?
Quantum healing practitioner. My favorite modality is probably Beyond Quantum Healing, which it's a fancy way to say past life regression.
Okay.
And also we contact the soul, the subconscious mind, and do that type of work as well. So it's an in-depth hypnosis modality. QHHT is how I started, and now I've expanded into Beyond Quantum Healing as well.
Nice. I love that. So is that like when I was reading what you wrote for your bio, it seemed like that's deeper, like a deeper hypnosis. Is that what it is?
I'd say it's more in depth. The hypnosis itself isn't necessarily deeper. It depends on the session itself, but the potential for what we're doing, most of the sessions are between 5 and 7 hours. So that in itself is different from a 30-minute to an hour hypnosis session where you're just trying to say, stop smoking, something like that. These would be people that come to me and they want to know things about their health. They want to know their past lives, or they're running into an obstacle and they want to overcome that obstacle using a different perspective. And so we would sit down, have a long conversation, usually a couple hours, get to know each other really well, and then delve into those questions that they bring into the session under hypnosis or in a trance state. And as we do that, the longer you tend to play around with that, the deeper you tend to go and the more context you get for your questions. So the hypnosis itself doesn't have to be super deep. You can be pretty awake and alert and still have these transformational experiences.
Okay. So these are my questions. Because of course my head's spinning. Okay. So I've done QHHT 3 times now. Okay. And so are you saying that the 5 to 7 hours is like the whole session, like the whole like background stuff in the beginning, and then the hypnosis, and then the follow-up kind of like talk?
Yeah, we usually talk for about 2 to 3 hours, and I'm an ambivert, but I'm a bit of an extrovert when I come to talk to people. I can just talk your ear off, and I find a lot of my clients are similar. So as you're talking about these, sometimes it's things that people have never told anybody.
Yeah.
They might come into a session. They might have had a paranormal experience and they haven't been able to put that into words to their mom or their spouse or their kids. They can't describe the dream they had where they found out their starseed lineage. Or an experience that they had where they were in communication with a deceased loved one, or something that just goes beyond normal, everyday, fits in a box. You can explain it with science. a
Yeah.
lot of the times my clients are coming to me because they've had an experience like that, and they just want help processing it or put it into words or
Yeah.
understand why it happened or how they can take what's the takeaway from this? Why did I have this
Yeah.
dream?
And
so
do you find that they get the answers that they're looking for?
sometimes it's really interesting because how you're phrasing the question goes a long way too, because a person
Yes.
want to know,
Yes.
well, what is my purpose in lifetime? What's my
Yeah.
purpose, my soul's purpose
Yeah.
spanning multiple lifetimes? And in your heart, you already know. At the
Yeah.
same time, there's levels to understanding that purpose because we're already doing it. But
Of course.
understanding how we're doing it, that's a lifetime revelation.
Yeah.
But you can get something to where it's like you pull the blindfold off of your eyes and have something that you see seen in a totally different way that puts into perspective. Oh, why does my left knee hurt all the time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So do you go like how long would you say you have someone under hypnosis?
2 hours is about the average.
Okay.
2 to 3
And
is about the most. I've had somebody in
yeah.
trainings for 4 hours once or
Okay,
twice.
and what is the reason for there being a limit to that? Because I kind of like that was kind of one of my questions when I first did QHHT. She said about 2 hours is like the limit. You really shouldn't go too much longer than that. Why
It's
is
a personal preference. You feel tired afterwards. You might get a headache. It's nothing dangerous or horrible or nothing that I haven't done a million times or pushed that limit, but you just feel a little bit more exhausted. It's kind of like the same way if you're working real hard, you might only want to be on that elliptical machine an hour before you take a break and do something else. And it's the brain is similar.
What I thought was so weird about being under hypnosis, first of all, I didn't think I could do it. Okay.
Right.
And then of course I went under really easily. So I apparently get hypnotized like instantly almost actually, because I was on a call once with someone who is a hypnotist, and I went under hypnosis without her trying because she was just asking me questions. And all of a sudden I found myself in a room with my 5-year-old self, and we had this whole thing happen. And I went, why did that happen? We were just literally talking. And she said, I don't know.
I had to go into trance over texting.
Same really?
Thing, just asking my friend questions over, Facebook Messenger, and she was in a different lifetime in a different place.
Wow. So you can't lose someone in hypnosis, right? Like that's not a thing, right? Okay.
No, we're constantly going into those brain states. We're always going into an alpha state. We're going into theta every time we fall asleep. So it's something that's natural. Your brain knows what to do, but it's a professional's job. What we get to do is kind of hold you in that state and work with it. So somebody who has experience, or somebody, even just has desire, can ask those questions that get you to the next level of understanding. So it's an interesting game.
And I think once you're trained to be a hypnotherapist, I guess you call it, you have like this like way that your voice talks directly to someone's deeper self. I swear that's true, because it seems like people who do this kind of work that you do can put you under really fast without even trying. Like that's what it seems like to me. Anyway, I should say hi to everyone. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Patrick. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Suzanne. And Karen, hi, I'm so glad you're here. Are you sure you don't have a football game you have to be at, Karen? And hi, Carrie. We're going to do numbers in a little while. Like first, we're going to talk to Julia about her stuff because I have some I have some questions to ask her. So, okay, so I found you not related to QHHT at all, even though I'm fascinated.
Peripherally related to that.
It's just really cool that you do that as well. Okay, so I found you in this Facebook group that I'm in that I just love because we're both in. I just love this Facebook group because it's just stories all the time and they're always crazy stories. So, like, I read, this is my interpretation of what I read, okay? Because I'm not good at like paraphrasing.
You might be better than I am at telling a story. Go ahead.
Okay. So I read that you found a ring, okay, and the ring was Lady Diana, Lady Athena, okay. Okay. And so you found this ring, this magic ring, okay?
Yes.
I don't know if it correlated to the rest of the story or not, but I think it did. So then you had an incident with a fly, and with a deceased fly, I should say. Yes. And somehow in my head, you brought the fly back to life with the ring. Did the ring
Something
help?
like that. Yeah, I don't quite understand. I don't even understand the process of what happened from beginning to end, but I'll do my best to fill in the details. So I woke up in the morning, and I'm a coffee drinker. I drink coffee every day.
Okay.
Usually I wake up and I immediately hit it, but sometimes I might wait a few hours. So this is one of the days where I was just kind of like waiting a few hours. I saw a dead fly in my coffee cup since I'd woken up, probably like 8 in the morning, something like that.
Okay, so wait, I have to have context here a little bit because I told my daughter I would ask really good questions.
Yes, please. I'll do my best.
We both had questions after reading it. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So the fly was in your cup when you first saw your cup in the morning. So you didn't see it land in there. It was already
already dead. No, there was no sign of life. I'll put it that way when I saw it in the morning. But
this was like timeline wise, maybe 8
like
a.m.
8. Yeah. Okay. And so I'd been looking at that fly. I kind of saw it, and my mind's like, yeah, I'll dump that out. I'll go get my fresh coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So then it must have been about, I'm going to say 11, because like when I looked at my phone, I kind of went back and did the math. I was like, well, you had to have been in there at least a solid 3 hours.
Okay.
And my guess is that he was probably in there overnight. My brain would say, oh, that fly's been in there a long time.
That coffee was sitting, so he was in it. Okay. So we know that he was at least floating in the coffee for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you put the ring on your were you wearing the ring?
No. And the ring is sort of peripheral. It just kind of helped the energy transmit.
Okay.
Like I don't get the impression that like, oh, you take the ring and it just brings things back to life. It was more like the energy that I was putting into the desire to bring this creature back to life, or to give it the opportunity, to give it the potential to live once again. I had the desire. And so I just thought, for some reason, it just occurred to me that was an option, that there was an option for this creature to once again live. And so I took the fly out, I put it on my bathroom sink, and I took a couple pictures. And like, even in the pictures, like, you can tell that fly is the pictures dead.
The fly looks dead.
It's for sure dead. At least from any way that I would categorize life, living, dead, whatever. There was no. And so I took some pictures, and I think I even texted my friend, like, hey, I'm going to try this thing where I bring this fly back to life.
Now, are you normally a person that's really quirky and would do something like this?
Yeah, sure. Clearly.
You are probably used to your shenanigans by now, right?
Yeah, and my friend is a similar healer. He talks to
this, Yeah, if I said this to anyone in my world, that I'm going to attempt to bring a fly back to life, they would probably roll their eyes and go, of course you are.
Well, you know the people to tell, and you know the ones that you're going to, leave till later.
People will commit you over that, and other people will just go, okay.
Yeah. And so I chose the right friend. For some reason, I just felt, I'll message my friend on, and he'll know, And so I took a picture. I think I messaged my friend. And then I think that I just even let it sit there for a little while. I don't think I was immediately 100% into the ritual, but it just occurred to me that this was a possibility.
Yeah.
And so I sort of reached out. The whole story, it's so multi-layered. I'm not even sure where to
That's okay.
start. And in one of my past lives, I had lost a child. I'd lost a pregnancy.
Okay.
So flash back to, maybe this was like the 14 or 1500s. It was a long time ago.
Okay.
And I was betrothed. My husband was in the military. Like, he was out on some type of campaign. Like, I think I lived in Spain. And I'd become pregnant. He'd gone away to war. He'd gone away longer than we'd anticipated. He'd been called to service while he was away.
Okay.
And then I got the message that he died.
Okay.
So I'm carrying his child, and I have a miscarriage, and I lose that child. And in my desperation, I end my own life in that lifetime. And I judge myself. I'm a bad mother.
Yeah.
All the things that might go with.
So in that lifetime, you ended your life while you were pregnant, or you lost the child?
I lost the child. Yeah,
okay.
I lost the
you
child.
Lost your husband,
whole world. I lost my husband. I lost my child.
Okay.
I'm not good at anything. What am I going to do?
Okay.
I mean, I was probably only 18, 19, something like that. I was a young woman, and I ended my life.
Okay.
And so it's an interesting turn of events to where the same spirit that I carried in my womb in that lifetime, my child, had come into my lifetime in this lifetime as Julia.
Okay.
And I'd had that realization right before I'd had an abortion. Or I should say after I'd had an abortion when I was 19. It was clear, now I'm 47. So it probably became clear to me when I was 45. Oh, that's the same soul. Oh, that's the child that I lost.
Yeah.
The tables are turned. It was a different way to make a decision. Like, I ended the pregnancy this time. It wasn't taken from me. That soul showed up for me and able to connect once again, and also sort of to confirm, oh, well, you're not a bad mom. It wasn't you.
It wasn't you. It was whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And it was interesting that same soul had been with me, and he'd been standing in this little, there's a little knight figurine, and we had a little fly guy mask over it. Okay. And so it was like this costume character, this mask of the fly, and we always called this little spirit Fly Guy.
Okay, that's interesting.
So it occurred to me, not even thinking of the correlation Fly Guy or anything, it occurred to me that maybe this spirit that hadn't chosen to incarnate before, and that didn't get the opportunity, to incarnate with the abortion, maybe that this little guy, maybe he would like a chance to take the body of that fly.
Interesting.
And so I reached out with my mind, my heart, my soul, and I got that energy. I communicated with him, and I swear the little figure that I keep that reminds me of him, it's a little Groot figure. I swear the little guy winked.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I put the fly on my phone, and I started playing 417 hertz. It's just a frequency I particularly like. Yeah. Especially for restorative work. Yeah. And so I started playing that tone. And then it occurred to me, I was like, oh, I'd found this ring. I had no idea where this ring came from. I just looked down one day, and it was in my hallway, and I picked it up. I asked everybody I knew where this ring came from. I never found the owner. And then I just heard it's from Lady Athena. It's a gift from Lady Athena. Okay, cool. And so I happened to put it on today.
Oh, nice. Before. Well, kind of an elaborate ring too. It's not something that people would normally lose and not claim.
No, it's an amethyst, and there's little diamonds around it. And it just occurred to me, like, I'm going to focus this energy. I'm going to use it to focus the frequency. And so I did that, and the whole process probably took about say 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to an hour that I was
Yeah.
dedicated in nurturing this soul back to life.
Yeah.
And then it happened. Then it just started and it came back to life. It was dramatic, but only in the way these spiritual things are dramatic. It's like it has the sort of drum roll and the and then the whole thing started moving around. I'd have better video, but he was on my phone, so I couldn't.
That's great. So do you think that, okay, so he came back to life. Did he start flying right away, or did he kind of just wake up and then
he woke up, he walked around, it took a little while, and then it was almost like there was a confirmation, like, okay, I'm ready to explore. And then I could even communicate with the fly and ask him things. It was really interesting because, it's like, hey, do you want to come over here? And he would come over there.
Wow.
And then at a certain point, he flew to the door. And I'm like, do you want to go out? Do you want to go and be a fly? And he went out.
Wow.
And I still have communication with that spirit. He's not just that fly. But it was like the first dipping the toe into a physical incarnation. It was like the first little just coming into this world, just to give it a try to see if you like it or not. He's not required to stay, but see if this was something that he wants to pursue as a human or as a fly or as anything.
I wonder if this was your soul trying to heal, like from all of these these different time periods where you lost the baby and then you aborted the baby and
the other part that is important, and this is where the work, that quantum that comes into us, I was then able to go back into that woman's perspective and give her an alternative. She didn't have to kill herself. She could extend her life and not make that decision and have a parallel timeline that went off in a different way. And that's what she did. And that's what she chose to do. And she became a merchant and she was fairly successful. That was just a blip in her young life.
Really cool.
Yeah. And that's the power of quantum healing. You don't just get to change. I mean, everything's happening now. And because everything's happening now, we can alter those times. We don't have to live in that heavy karma. We can transform it into mission.
I've thought that there is something to like, once I realized that like the past isn't real and the future isn't real and that only the present is real, and then I started realizing that all of time is happening right now, like the past, the present, the future, everything. I started thinking, well, if it's all happening now and nothing really happened before that you can touch and nothing happens yet that you can touch, then here is where you have your power. If you could shift your vibration to a different timeline of, maybe say you were in the 1800s or wherever, and you could go back, you could go to that incarnation because it's happening right now, because only now is happening, then you could actually shift the decisions that are being made.
Yeah,
my brain can't do it really, but like my brain can do it, but it can almost do it. Like my brain can start thinking about it, and I've been kind of like on that wavelength for a while now, trying to concept those kinds of things, because I really do believe that that's true. I do believe that you can somehow impact the past in the present, like somehow impact maybe the results of the past or the decisions of the past or something like that. And I do also, I have seen like, posts about like how time is actually folded and things like that. And anyway, I could
you can release yourself from those things that you think are holding, those things that we go over and over again in our brain. You can start to release them and reframe them in a completely different way.
One of the things that like is even like more practical than this kind of thinking that most people could probably get around with their head is like, the only thing that's happening now are the things that you actually see now in your reality. Like there's no more monsters jumping up and down, harassing you or yelling at you or raping you or, you know, all the things. Like all the things that we've gone through are over. And we carry them as if we're still going through them, but there's nobody standing here doing it anymore. Now we're doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we can just make the choice right now to just stop all that. It doesn't matter anymore. It's not
that was my awakening experience, almost verbatim. You know, it's like I heard, you know, I just started my spiritual practice. I just started chanting the mantra Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And so I'd done that the night before. The next day, I was so mad at my roommate, and I don't remember now what I was mad at him about, just to put it in that perspective. But at the time, I was so mad at him. Let me tell you, I was planning. I had it on my calendar. I'm going to be mad at him all day. Underline.
Be mad. You put it on your calendar. Be mad at him all day. Don't let him get away with nothing.
No. And I could hear that thought form sort of to the left, and it was in a masculine voice. But then I heard a different voice that came in sort of from the right-hand side. And she said, but you don't have to. So this guy, the ego, I'm going to be mad at him all day, but you don't have to. I was like, oh man, I've got my whole day. I can do anything I want to.
Back to life instead, right?
Yeah, literally anything. I could, you know, and every once in a while I still might plan to be mad at somebody, but I now know I have the kinder option, the other one too.
More fun option.
Yeah.
Stay with reality and how it works, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that it's probably more fun than being mad, although we get to, it's all entertainment. I think even the anger, even the pain, and it's all, I think that we're creating it for our entertainment and for our growth, which might be the same thing.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you about, now that I understand the fly thing better.
I'm not sure I understand it. Or explained it well. But.
I don't know that I actually understand how that happened or anything, but I understand the story now a little better. Okay, so you wrote about how you did a session and somebody visited a life where they were a serial killer. And then what? They were punishing themselves once they discovered that, or what?
It was almost the opposite, because the client had come in with this just persistent self-doubt, self-criticism. And so she wanted to get from the other side of that, you know. And so the first thing that we started, and this is probably 3 or 4 sessions. This is a client I've worked with now for about 3 or 4 years. So the first session, or the where the story sort of starts, is she was taken back to the lifetime of a volcano.
Like she was the volcano?
She was lava inside the volcano. Wow. So I asked, what's happening? Tell me what's going on. Where are you? What's going on? And she says, I'm in a volcano. Oh, I'm lava. And she's describing this exhilarating process.
Wow.
Exploding and being born and coming into existence, and just this miraculous and exuberant experience of life as lava, as a rock,
Wow.
And which is just, it's amazing. I've seen lives of rocks, of trees, of
that's so cool.
And so she's describing this, and now she gets somber, So I said, well, tell me more about what's happening. She says, oh, I've run downhill and I've covered a whole village. I hear the people, they're telling me, they said, she's a killer. It's a killer. The lava's a killer.
Oh, wow.
And that thought, I'm a killer. It made her curious. Well, what is this thing? What's this thing? What's a killer?
Yeah.
And so then she went into another lifetime where she incarnated as a human being to see, well, what are these humans like? These that I killed. What are they? I'll see that from a different perspective. And so she incarnated into a human man. That thought form, I'm a killer, was just an assumption. And that led her to do things that we would judge as morally wrong. We'd say, no, we don't. We're children. That is not the
not the favorite thing to do around here.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we went through that lifetime, and then we went through another lifetime where what's interesting too is in this lifetime, in the current physical form, she suffered from benzene poisoning. And it's interesting that benzene is something that's found in volcanic eruptions.
Oh, wow.
It's also a chemical that's found in gas chambers. The next lifetime that she went into, she was living the life of a Nazi soldier, and she was closing the door on a little girl in the gas chamber.
Oh my goodness.
And she looked in those little girl's eyes, and she recognized those eyes as her grandchild from this life.
Oh my goodness.
And so it's come full circle to where she can say, and as that man closing the gas chamber, she says, I don't want to be this. Maybe I'm not a killer. Maybe I'm not this judgment that was placed on me. Maybe I'm more than that. I don't want this, and made a conscious decision to be more and to come away from that energy and do healing work and change the whole line of her ancestors. And it's a really interesting progression to see.
That is mind blowing. Like, that is really intense. Wow.
Yeah. And there'd been so much, and there were other sessions that sort of were parallel to this, so much that has to do too with spinal injuries and spinal pain and how that happened. And, after we'd done a few sessions, her spinal pain disappeared. It still comes and goes, but now when it comes, she can identify the thought form that's behind it and then get it to recede into the background again.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she's had things like masses disappear on MRIs. She's had so much tangible physical healing from these sessions. It's just amazing. And that's not always the case. Not everybody comes out. No. But it happens enough that I've seen it. I've seen enough times where, my clients have avoided surgery, or they've had something come up on a scan that disappears, or they've had headaches that just go away, or whatever the symptom is that changes after seeing it from a different perspective.
I've had, so during my QHHT, I asked 2 times out of the 3, I think, if I could be healed of different things, Yeah. And my guides actually said no, like my higher self said no. Right. And the practitioner said, why not? Because I've seen you do that.
Are you sure? Come on. Yeah.
And they said, so the first time they didn't explain it the same way as the second time. The first time was not as much explanation, but the second time was, they said that I would not actually want it to be taken away, because I like to learn through the things that I like. I want to heal myself and then teach others. That's basically what it was. But it was like, we can't take it away, because I actually want it so that I can learn, so I can teach others how to heal. And I was like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. No, I really don't. I would actually love clear vision. I would love, my legs not to swell. I would love like this whole aging crap that's happening, just knock it off,
Yeah, but you came into temporal reality. We came into this dense, difficult, limited place for these challenges. I'm like with you though. I want more money.
Challenges. I'm kind of good with that,
Yeah. My ego is fine with not doing the suffering. I mean, and that's part of it too, is that there is a balance. Like, we're creating the suffering. We can sometimes learn to dial it back. There's some things that we can do. So we can negotiate with those parts of self that are choosing that versus the parts that are choosing this versus the parts that, we get a vote.
Well, I did have a talk with my guides and maybe my higher self, whoever is on the other side helping me. I had a talk with them years ago where I said, enough, enough. I don't need to actually experience every bad thing to understand it. can we just like chill out on that, you know? And then the bad things started like lessening, you know?
I'm like, no, really.
It really was like, I'm like, you know, you call uncle. You're like,
yeah, well, it's like if I signed up for difficulty 7, can we bring it down to like difficulty 5? Because maybe this
yes,
is just a
yes.
little too.
Like, I get that I'm ambitious,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
And I get that I wanted a lot. I wanted a lot of learning, but let's chill out on that shit.
yeah. Well, on the non-physical side, it seems so easy,
Yes.
doesn't it?
You
On
just
the
have
non-physical
feeling
side,
what
this is
I'm
done in a blink, and we look back and oh, well, yeah, we can do it again. And then when we're here
yeah.
in the density, when we're in temporal, when we're in the contrast, it is the definition of difficulty.
Yeah.
So
I try to remind myself that it's just like a blink of time, like
temporary.
really not as
Yeah.
serious as it feels, you know, like it only feels serious because we're veiled. If we understood, it probably wouldn't feel serious at all, but then we wouldn't take it seriously either, and we wouldn't get the things out of it that we're meant to. So it wouldn't
Yeah.
be all the things anyway. That I don't know, like how did your client deal with learning all of that?
Incredibly well, because the subconscious
Mhm.
tends to not tell you things that you can't handle. So if
Yeah,
it was somebody that, we'll call them a bunny, if it was somebody
yeah.
that's just brand new and, you know, then the
Mhm,
soul's not going to reveal the gas
mhm.
chamber. They're going to give them, what do you want to call them? You're going to give them the breadcrumbs to get to
Yeah,
the big picture. Whereas there's some people where they're just ready. This client is in their 60s, they're ready to heal. They've
mhm.
seen the trauma that the trauma that they've grown up with, and they don't want to pass that on to their kids and their grandkids, and they want to be fully present
Yeah,
and as pain-free as they can be. And so the ability for that free will, that decision, that
mhm.
tenacity to
Yeah,
almost the decision to do it is what brings her into that potential,
yeah,
the
yeah.
option to do it. I think I posted
Mhm,
the other day, have you considered the potential of being well? And she
mhm,
really embraces that. And the clients that have the most profound results tend to be at that stage.
mhm.
I mean, anybody can have a great session, but they're
Yeah,
gonna get, you might get a person that's, oh, I don't really know. I'm kind of getting, I might kind of, you get those kind of sessions with people that aren't
mhm.
quite as far on their spiritual path, and then you get the people that they're ready, they're embracing it,
Yeah,
they've already done that, they're not going to stop now.
mhm.
And so she was able to roll with that, see all of these connections.
Mhm.
I
In my
did
last
better than I
session
would.
I got lost in the woods and I hitchhiked and was ultimately
Oh,
and it was pretty rough, like, to be in that, you know, because when you're in it, you feel the whole thing, like, you're there, you know?
yeah.
So that was really hard. I had, like, almost a full-blown panic attack while I was under hypnosis, but the practitioner kind of, like, pulled me out of it a little bit by telling
Yeah.
me, "You don't have to feel this, you're not really there," like, whatever.
Yeah. You
Um,
can see it from the outside if you need
yeah,
to.
you can observe this, and so when she brought me out of, like, the firsthand witness, kinda, like, seeing it through my
Yeah.
own eyes,
You.
it was like I was above, and then I actually saw my body on the ground, which was horrible, but it was, like it was also really, like I just look at it like it's not really me, like, it's not me now,
Yeah, it's over with. So
that
what's the
lifetime is over, yeah. But
yeah.
that's the one, so it was filmed for Gaia. Well, it was
Cool.
filmed for a show that's on Gaia now.
Cool.
And, so it's kinda crazy because I've done QHHT 3 times and, who knows what kinda life you're gonna visit, you never know,
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it different each time?
yeah. So
Yeah. Right.
the first time was like very vanilla. Like it was like
Yeah.
I was in space at first and I was traveling in a spaceship and I was going to pick up my kid from school or something. Like I don't it was something very
Yeah.
random and normal and I was a man and I was in like a space suit but we were zooming through space. So I don't really know what was going to happen because the practitioner was afraid I was going to get sick because we were going so fast, and I was
Oh,
seeing
that's
I was
funny.
seeing everything fly by the spaceship so fast, and it was, it was making me a little bit sick. Like, it was making me nauseous.
Yeah.
And so she pulled me out of that one. And then I went into a life that was very boring and very like non-eventful. And I was like, what is this crap? Like I wanted
You're
the whole
expecting.
time.
Yes.
I wanted adventure. I wanted to go to space and see what happened there. Like I didn't want the boring, bland, terrible life that I was unhappy in. And so I'm sitting there the whole time going, and then we ran off to Vegas and all this crazy stuff happened, but I couldn't override what I was saying. Like it was crazy. Like I tried so hard to make the story better, but I couldn't, And so that's how I know that I really was under hypnosis. And then I started having dreams about that lifetime later. Like I started remembering more about it. And now I remember a lot more about it.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was going to say is a lot of times people get more. I know I have from my first session 6 years ago. I still get information about the lifetime of Sarah. And, it's interesting how there's so much context that kind of bleeds through.
Yes.
But it's hard to tell somebody what to expect, if you can imagine.
Like you never know, of course. Like they're always so different. But I felt that it got better each time. Like it got like, I don't know, like maybe I trusted it more each time or something. But the first time, when we were having the higher self talk, the practitioner said, why did you show her this lifetime? And my guides or my higher self or whoever the heck, is answering says, well, because she's always thinking that she's missing out on some grand adventure. And we want to show her that this is the adventure. Like, okay, I can see that. This life has been very adventurous, but I always think there's something going on somewhere that I'm not part of. And so when I went to visit like past lives, I was like, bring on the adventurous life that I used to have, But no, it brought on this really boring.
You're saying you want more than this.
I want extra. So, but anyway, they're like, this is the adventure, which is true. But anyway, so I love QHHT and I love all of this kind of stuff. Like I love diving into, I didn't think I would, like I was never interested in learning about the past. I always thought like, oh, that's over, who cares? I'm always focused on the future. I love to get excited about what's next and what's going to happen and build a life that's like leading into something really cool. So I never really thought I was interested in that. But now that I've kind of gone down that rabbit hole, now I'm super interested in it. Like now I think it's so cool. They
go together, don't they? And people definitely see future lifetimes too. So
have you had a lot of that?
Yeah. In my own case, it's interesting because there was one time where I had just was probably maybe a month after my QHHT training. So I was still very new to all this. And I just sat down in my living room and I put on my Casina mind machine system. And it's a device that flashes a bunch of lights and it triggers your optic nerve.
I'm going to ask you about that. Sorry. Can you explain what that is that you do?
A little bit. I don't understand the brain all that well, but what it does is it's almost like if you were to trigger a seizure or something, it's flashing lights.
Okay.
It doesn't trigger seizures unless you have a seizure.
I was going to say it's safe though, right?
Yeah. Unless you are easily triggered by those types of things. It flashes lights and it triggers your optic nerve directly. So you'll be seeing all these kaleidoscopic patterns.
Wow.
Trippy patterns, but you're not seeing them with your eyes. The optic nerve is seeing it directly. So it's really interesting
I want to
just
do
that
that.
it exists that you can do that.
Can you only do that in person or can you do that? Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, I mean, there may be some technology that's out there that'll start to replicate that, but the Casina is its own little device with these goggles that you put on, and it's kind of cool. And so I'd just done a session. I'd sat down and maybe journeyed for 15 minutes or so, and they're not guided. It's just flashing lights, so you're free to go wherever.
Mhm.
And so I took the goggles off, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting, and it looked like, with my eyes open, I can just sort of get the impression that I'm sitting on the bridge of a starship.
Wow, neat.
And I can get the idea of what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I'm moving my hands, and I'm placing these colored squares, these panels of light. I'm maneuvering them in space.
Wow.
And then it was interesting because through just dreaming, I received other pieces of information. It's like I kept waking up and I would hear my cat meow, and then I'd
Mhm.
see a big W, like made out of stars.
Oh,
And then I
wow.
kept hearing seven-star system, seven-star system.
Wow.
And that happened, I don't know how many times, but it kept happening. I'd
Mhm.
meow, and then seven-star system, and I'd see the W.
I
And
wonder if you were interpreting the language that your cat was speaking in or something.
my cat's
No?
named Z, Tsih. When I
Okay.
found the star
I'm
that I'm
like,
from,
I'm like doing it in my head. Okay.
her name's Zimmy. Her
Okay.
TSIM, Zimmy was her,
Okay. Yeah.
or we call her Z. And
Yeah.
when I found the star that I'm from, it's
Mhm.
TSIH.
Oh my goodness.
And so
Wow.
my cat, and then it turns out that she's the captain of the starship that I'm on.
Wow.
And so we had this relationship in the future.
That's crazy. So I think that cats unlock a lot for us that we don't realize.
They
I
can.
named my cat Merlin. Like, I guess he's like 3 years old, maybe now. I don't know how old he is, 2.5, something like that. I named him Merlin just because I wanted to find a cool name. Like that was all. Like I
Yeah.
just wanted a witchy name, you know?
Yeah. Same
I
with
went
my
through all
cat.
these names
Yeah.
and I kept trying them and I was like, no, that's not right. And then I finally named him Merlin. Well, then within just a few months, I found out that I work with Merlin. And I was like, I'm not
Exactly.
I'm
Oh.
so not the kind of person that would believe something like that.
Yeah.
There's like so many signs of it. I was like, oh my goodness, that's real. And it was like, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. Like, I don't understand because I totally feel like I named him, like I
Right.
picked the
Yeah, I
name.
chose the name
But like,
Zimmy after the
why did I
goddess
do
of
that?
transmutation.
Yeah.
So similar, it's like I'm named after a goddess, and then she 22 years later, she just passed away last year, and she was 21.
Oh.
But just having that knowledge that we have a
Yeah.
whole nother life together, a whole nother
Oh,
life where she's in charge, and I'm actually a cat person in that lifetime. I'm half lyre, and
yeah.
the,
Cool.
the seven-star system that's a W is Cassiopeia.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I woke up and looked at it was
Yeah.
clear. Oh, this is
Wow.
Cassiopeia. So
Yeah.
it's those things where like I didn't get all that information just from the goggles. It
Yeah.
it came through over 4 years worth of time and dreams and sessions. And
Well, I think that we're only like partially veiled. Like I think that we are veiled all the way in the beginning, like when we must turn a certain age and then the veil goes on because it doesn't seem to be there right away.
yeah,
And then like as we get older, it's like we spend so much time veiled and then the veil slowly starts like shifting or something like
yeah, it's
maybe
like
the
never fully get the
transparency
handle, right?
changes. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
remember distinctly creating my reality as a kid. I remember manifesting illness. I remember getting rid of illness.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Giving myself chicken pox and strep throat and
Me
curing
too.
those things.
I created so like I was never claustrophobic. I had no problems with that at all. But I thought that so like I kept meeting people that were when I was a teenager, when I was like an early teenager, a young teenager, I should say. And I thought it was cool to be claustrophobic. So I decided I was going to be. And then I became claustrophobic. It's so stupid.
Interesting.
Like, why would you do that? That's what I did. And so
how we work though.
what's weird is I am still claustrophobic a little bit,
Yeah.
but like I convinced myself to be because I thought it was cool. And so I think I've always just been a person that plays with my reality,
Yeah.
to see what I can create and what I can't. Just like you with the fly, like let's see what we can do.
Yeah. And I've done that with more than one fly, not quite to the same extreme. Like I just have there's some there's some connection with flies, and I just think to rehabilitate them instead of flushing them, and it doesn't always work. They don't always.
Yeah.
Some are not good candidates.
Yeah.
And you can and it's interesting because you can kind of tell, you can kind of feel the life force of ones that are going to come back and ones that aren't.
That's interesting. I wonder if there's still like life left in them or something.
I wonder too, because that's the other part. It's like, let's say it's not a miracle that the fly came back to life. Maybe it's just a miracle that I cared enough to try for an hour.
Or maybe it's just a miracle that you could tap in enough to know. Yeah. Like that alone is a big deal. Like to know the level of life there. Okay, so there's a point where we exit our bodies, where our soul literally detaches from the vessel, Maybe you are actually tapping into the fact that they haven't left that vessel yet all the way.
I wonder though, because the soul that went back into the fly was a different soul than had left the fly's body. So I would say that you're right, but in this case, I would say no, just because of that one. It was more like what you'd have as a walk-in for humans.
So that part is a little feels like a little bit of witchcraft.
Yeah.
It's
just more like putting on a suit. Do you want this suit? Yeah. Does the soul of my baby from another lifetime, do you want to put on this suit for a little while and fly around in it?
Yeah.
The same way we can come into these human suits.
That part my brain doesn't understand. So I don't understand that part. The part of bringing it back to life, I kind of could understand. The part of replacing the soul, I'm not sure about. Like that part is hard for me.
Yeah, well, my friend said that she's frozen flies and had them come back to life. So I wonder if flies are super, super resilient, more resilient than we give them credit to.
I will be honest, I don't know much about flies.
Yeah, well, what I do know is if I had thrown him down the drain, he would definitely have been dead. And that's the difference. That's the difference, that just taking that extra step or reaching out or saying the thing that you're supposed to say.
Have you tried this out on anything other than a fly?
Well, I haven't brought anything back to life, but
I mean, because you could be walking around in your backyard and see a butterfly or something that's
I did try with a bird, but it didn't, it was one of those interesting things where it's like the bird was already injured. And so I tried to nurse this bird back to health. And it was interesting because it did get this real swell of energy. And I thought for sure it was going to just fly off. I could see with my mind's eye, I could see its soul flying away, but its body just dropped. And so it was really interesting.
So maybe you acted as you helped release it from its body or something.
It was almost like it was a message for me, or there was something deeper with that message of the bird coming up to me. And
I definitely don't understand this stuff, but I like it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, my brain can't do it, but I'm also like, this is fascinating.
So how does that compare to numerology? Does your brain understand that? Because I don't understand that.
So numbers have frequencies, okay? And I am apparently really good at tapping into those frequencies because I've been studying numerology for so long. But each number has a different frequency. And so numbers actually, your birthday is part of your code. It's what you are coded with for this lifetime. Now you choose that code because you choose what you're going to do here and who you're going to be and, all the things you're going to learn and all of those things. So you choose your code, but your birthday is part of that code. Okay. Now that code holds a frequency. Okay. So you could call that frequency yours. That is your frequency, that is your specific frequency. And I think probably your birth time goes with that and maybe some other things. I don't know exactly. We don't do birth times in my type of numerology because they're rarely recorded accurately. So it might give you false information if we try to do that, but your birthday is almost always recorded accurately. That's most people know their birthday.
Yeah.
Some people don't know. I have met people that don't. So some people, it was recorded wrong. And in fact, my grandfather, his birthday was changed on his birth certificate so that he could be in the military, like so he could be in World War II, so that he could go early.
Older.
So yeah, so when he died, we still don't know how old he actually was, you know, because his birthday was recorded wrong. And we don't even know if they changed like just the year or the date or what. So we don't even know. But yeah, so in numerology, it's like, I know I can decipher your code. I can decipher, you know, what it is that you came here to do, which would be like your life plan, you know, and then I can tap into the vibration that you're vibrating at, because I can feel where you're at in each number. Like I can feel the scale of where you're vibrating. So I tap into the now of what you're doing right now. And I kind of go, oh, you know, you're really in this energy, you know, like you're really in a leadership energy, or you're really in a hiding energy, or you're really in, you know, like a combative energy or whatever, you know, with one number. And then another number, you'll be in a different kind of frequency. And then I'll ask, like, cause I talk to the numbers and I talk to the guides. I'll say, so in this energy that I'm feeling, how is this translating to her life, you know? And then that's how I kind of give a reading, you know, which we should do. So let's look at your numbers. Because otherwise I'll just explain frequency for an hour and, you know, I'll lose everyone here. So
my mentor was really good working with numbers, and he's on the other side now. Well, I wish I'd paid a little bit more attention while he was in the physical realm.
Well, you know, he can help you from the other side.
I know he does sometimes too. He does sometimes.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm listening, he tends to come through.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, okay, so I'm just going to write out your numbers. And while I'm doing this, you guys can put in some of your numbers. So Lisa, I do see your numbers. If you're still here, we will get to them. Let me see. So now what I do on these weekly lives is I will look at what stands out in your chart, like whatever is speaking the loudest kind of like to me. And then I will see if I get any messages about that. So, okay. And then I also see if the guides are saying anything. So if the guides have anything to say, I will tell you about that. Sometimes I get future stuff, but I don't. Well, lately I've been getting more and more future stuff, actually, because I was going to say I don't always get that, but lately I have been getting some future stuff. So I don't know. Hi, Eileen. She's my friend numerologist. And hi, Nicole. Nicole's my student numerologist. And Carrie and Suzanne are in my class too. Okay, so I'm going to say what's really standing out is you have this, like, I don't know what it is actually. I'm seeing it like a bird or something. Like I'm seeing flying. Okay. And I'm asking why that is. Okay. And it's not because of the fly. It's like, it's not just because of that. I'm actually seeing flying. So I'm looking at your energy and it's saying like, there's something about you taking off, or something that you're doing is taking off, or like some idea that you have is flying now. Like it's showing me something working, you know, that maybe wasn't working before. And it's going to be some kind of brainchild idea. Like it's going to be something that you came up with that's like maybe a little bit out of the box, but it's working now. And they're saying that you're starting to see the results of something like that. So they're saying to stick with it and to, you know, keep kind of like on the path that you've been on. And then they're showing me the word resilient, like, but they're talking about consistency, you know, like they're talking about showing up and keep showing up and trust that this is going to continue and it's just going to keep getting bigger. And it's it's actually a little bit like you're trying to hold it down, because I see strings attached to it that you're pulling on it because it's getting away from you, it feels like. But it's not really getting away from you. That's just your fear or something, you know? So does it make sense?
Yeah, it does. That's
Okay,
along
'cause
the
I'm
line.
like, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, just so
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
it's almost like I keep being told, slow and steady wins the race. And there's part of my personality is like, no, we need it fast and the ambitious part. And no, really, no, really, the slow and steady really is the way.
Yeah.
And I'm just starting to see the results of that. But at the same time, like, it feels like the dark night of the soul type of thing. Oh, you're gone. Where'd you go? Hopefully she comes back. Oh, there you are. Yay.
Oh, there we are. Okay. I don't know what happened. So you were saying
But it feels like right now it's almost like the tower moment or the dark night of the soul, where it's just like everything's falling apart, everything sucks.
Yeah.
But I keep being told that's just part of the process. It's just part of the ebb and flow. Keep going.
Well, I'm saying that that's an illusion, that it's falling apart. Like it just looks like it's falling apart. It's actually coming together.
Yeah.
So, and in human life, things look like they're falling apart. Things have to fall apart to come together. So on the other side, though, that's not how it looks, you know?
Yeah.
On the other side, it's like they know the future. Like they know what's going to happen, you know?
It's gonna be okay.
We're good, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I see. That was like the only message that was coming. Well, that was the strong message coming through. It's not the only message. Of course, I could tap in, to more, but that's the big message, is like allow that to keep going up and up and up, and don't try to hold it back. But also keep just putting in the time and the effort and the steps to get it, to keep it going, whatever it is. So, okay, so let's look at Lisa's. And then if you guys want to put numbers in, we're probably going to do one more because we're already over time. So we'll do Lisa's and then one more. So 1968. Okay, so I'm just writing out your numbers. Okay. Okay, so what's standing out to me for you, Lisa, is that you're an astral traveler, and that you go, oh, I'm glad that you're here. Good. So what's standing out is that you're an astral traveler, and that you are someone who goes into other realms when you sleep, and you're doing that to gather information because you are the visionary and you are someone who is creating something bigger in this lifetime than normal. You also have a very strong, you have a few different focuses. So like when I go to say that, the guides say stop, because there's a few different things. So you are someone who is focused on making the world a better place for you having been here, as well as, so that'll give you like an environmental and an animal focus. You also are a humanitarian. So you have a humanitarian focus, and you're actually living more in that humanitarian mode right now. And it looks like, it's something, you have a children focus as well. Like you like to protect children. You like to, you're like, I'm seeing you. Okay, this is weird. So I don't know if it's weird, but I'm seeing you walking in a forest or a field. I can't decide. I think it's a field, with children, like walking a child or a couple of children, or maybe even a group of children. I don't know, but you're walking with them and you're holding hands and you're teaching them something. I don't know what that's about, but that's what I'm seeing. So, but you go into the astral and you gather information there, and then you bring it back into this life to help you with what your work is here now. Whenever you get overwhelmed, you need to go into nature, because nature is going to heal you. And then children are also going to heal you. Like, being around children is going to really help you, because you're someone who has that connection to the childlike wonder that we're always trying to stay with, you know? So hopefully that helps. I don't know if I actually told you anything, but
I kept getting the word way shower for some reason. Like,
what did you get?
uh,
What did
way,
you
the word way shower, like showing the way to.
Yes, that's what I was seeing her like taking children and showing them something.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like teaching them
Teaching,
something,
yeah.
maybe something about nature. I'm not really sure. But it was a field, and there was definitely a forest near the field. Because I couldn't decide if it was a field or a forest, and then it looked like
Maybe
they were
both.
in the field, but the forest was over there. So yeah, I don't know what that means, Lisa. I hope it means something to you. I don't know. So, um, okay, and then we'll look at Patrick's numbers. I was gonna have you pick numbers, but we don't have very many numbers today.
Yeah, everybody gets it.
We normally have a lot, but I think me and you just talked for a really long time. So.
It's easy. It's too easy to talk about this stuff.
Your stuff is so fascinating that, like, I want to hear more of your
Well,
story.
it makes so much more sense as it's happening. It's so hard to sort of bring it back and turn it into the narrative once again and give all the context. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I only hope I'm doing it justice.
No, you are, like, just talking it out at all is helpful, with
Yeah,
sorting out
it is.
how it is and all that. So, let's see. Okay. So, Patrick, the message that I got, like, right away before I even wrote this out, was that things are healing with you. Like, there's a lot of healing happening. I don't see exactly where it's happening, like, when I write the numbers out, but even before I was writing the chart, I was just writing your numbers at the top, and I heard it. Like, I heard that there's healing happening and there's awareness happening, and you're reaching new heights with your understanding. And I feel like the hardest parts are behind you now, if that makes sense. And now you're just dealing with the residual of whatever, like, that's what I'm feeling. And then, of course, you've got that nature element as well, which I think I've told you before, that nature really helps you. I think you need more of it. So, like, I'm definitely feeling that, because your energy is a little bit stagnant and it feels a little stuck, like, it feels like you feel stuck. So, but you're really changing. I see change here. Like, I feel the change, but I do see the change as well. So yeah. So I hope that helps. Okay. So we are going to go, because we're way over time. Of course, that's what we do. Unless you're feeling called to one more, Julia, we could do one more if you're feeling called, but
I just have a general question.
Okay.
That you always hear about life path numbers, but then I always have like a favorite number, right? And so
Okay.
it's not the same as my life path number.
Yeah.
What's your feeling about that? Why do I love the number 8?
Okay, we'll talk about that. So, well, one thing is, I do not do life path numbers, because that's just not the type of numerology that I do.
Yeah, it just never resonated with me, so I don't know much about that, but it just seemed
Yeah.
weird that I'm
Yeah.
just obsessed with the number 8.
I just don't know much about that. So, and they actually mean different things than in mine. So what I look at is, I look at all of your numbers individually, and then your numbers in combination with each other. I don't reduce them to any whole numbers or anything. So,
Okay, cool.
but let's talk about the number 8. So the number 8 is a really important number in a chart, because the number 8 is actually the hardest number in a chart.
Of course.
It is, yeah, it is the life, like it is the earthly number. Like it is the ground. It's the root chakra. It's all about the human experience. So like if you're feeling very connected to the 8, you're feeling very human, and that might be because you're trying to be human this time, like you're trying very solidly to have the human experience.
Yeah.
Maybe because maybe you've avoided it before or something,
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that the lessons I'm learning in this life, they came fine to my past lives. Either Sarah knew how to do simple, easy, repetitive things. Julia struggles with consistency. So it's like my other lifetimes, they've got this down, but Julia's still learning this, showing up consistently.
If you think about it, you are so fascinated with things that are outside of this realm, So the 8 might be a reminder to stay human. Like it might be telling you, no, come back.
Really.
Here. Okay. Because you're going to know all the answers at some point soon. And you don't need to know them right now.
Yeah. Enjoy this.
But then you're so curious, like you're very, very curious. Something that's also fascinating in your chart is that you have all 3 operating systems. So we only have 3 operating systems that are possible, kind of. So like we have one in the spiritual, one in the mental, and one in the physical. So the one in the spiritual is our crown chakra. It's our connection to God or source or the higher power. So you are very connected that way. Yeah. Okay. So you are someone who has a very close connection with source, whatever you consider source to be, and then the throat chakra is our connection in the mental. And that connection is actually our connection to our spirit guides and the Akashic records and divine wisdom. And so you are very solidly connected to that as well. It means that you're an open channel. It means that you are an extension of your spirit team. So you are a spirit guide on earth. So you're here to help people. You're going to feel that calling very strongly. And then our operating system in the physical is our solar plexus chakra. And it is our connection to self, to this body, to the vessel that we're living in. And so you also have that. So it's very rare to have all 3. Like most people only have 1 or 2, and that's plenty. Like you don't have to have all the connections. But because you're so solidly connected, it's going to take you places, because then you also have the traveler in your chart. So it's like you're traveling all of those things.
My last name is Wagner. And so there's something about wagons and movement. And
oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, and then when you say wagons, you're a very grounded person. Like you're someone who is trying to keep your feet on the ground. So like you would be on the ground moving, not in the air, even though you have that flying element, but that flying element is talking about a project or an idea, it's not really talking about your life. So you're trying very, very solidly to be in the human experience, and you're trying to remind yourself of that, I think,
Yeah, because the other part's like, get me out of here.
Yeah. And you do feel that, we all feel that, but you feel that a little bit stronger than other people because you do have a struggle, So the other thing that the 8 is, so like the one side of the 8 is, scarcity and struggle, and, it's the very human, like life is so hard. It's the uphill battle kind of feeling. And then the other side of the 8, like the positive side, is it's the master manifester. So like when you move into the good energy of the 8 instead of the hard struggle energy, you actually just bring things to you almost instantly. And you are super in that energy. Like I feel that energy all around you. And that's part of what your flying number was saying. Like that's part of what they were saying about that, is that you are manifesting like crazy. So, and then again, that's okay. So that's what the guys just said. That's another reason why they're trying to keep you a little bit grounded. because you could get too much in that energy as well, and then you're not here anymore.
Yeah, I can't have a conversation.
Yes, because you really don't want your head in the clouds. Like if you've met anybody like that, you don't want to be like that. You know?
Yeah, I've met a few people that can successfully, that's their lesson and purpose, and they're successfully pulling it off. But I think that I'm a Libra also, so I'm in this in the middle balance.
Yeah. Well, and you're working on that very solidly. So yeah, that's what I see. So yeah, and you're on your last life. So that's probably why you're so intentional about it all.
That makes sense too.
So, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so this was great. I love this conversation. I want to have more conversations like this. Like I love the storytelling aspect, and I love the I may not understand the story. Okay. Like my brain might not be able to concept how any of it happened or how it works, but I am fascinated that it happened. So like I love it.
Yeah. I can't. That one client, she brought me over. She wanted to quit smoking. And she was scheduled for surgery, and she had this lump, and she had me feel her lump. Ooh. And then we did the session, and she did quit smoking, but she ended up started smoking. But the miraculous thing is I came back the next day and felt, and the lump was gone.
Wow.
I can't tell you how it worked, but we talked to a white blood cell in her body that said, it's an easy fix. And the white blood cells seem to understand it. So if we don't have to understand it, we can just ask the part that does understand it for help.
So now, did this happen under hypnosis, or was this something you just did?
Like this was a QHHT session. It was one of my first sessions even too. So it was during my first, I think 25 sessions or,
just.
Yeah. Wow. We don't have to understand things completely.
No, you don't have to understand anything. You just have to have a mind that is open enough to accept that, things can happen that you might not understand.
Yeah.
Just accept it. Like when I read your blog post, I was like, I read it. I read parts of it a couple times because I went, wait, what? Wait, what? And then I went, is this girl crazy? And then I was like,
a little crazy. I'm not a liar.
Though I'm the same kind of crazy as you. Like I believe in impossible things. I couldn't be where I'm at doing what I do if I didn't, like for me, I do things like you're doing, just not on the level that you're doing it. So I
do. It's just
I came back from a trip one time, and I had this aloe plant that was literally keeled over. Like it was like, oh, I'm dead, like I'm done living, and all of its little leaves were dying, and I've never really been great at keeping plants alive until now. I'm really good now. But this just started a few years ago, okay? But I came home from this trip, and I saw this aloe plant, and I really wanted it to live. And I was like, please don't stop living, I really like you, And so I held one of its little leaves, and I just said, can you please live? Because I really love you, and I really want you to live. That is the healthiest looking plant in my whole house now. That plant turned itself around and has grown so big and so lush. It's so thick with its leaves now, and it's growing outside of its pot almost. It probably needs to be transplanted. But
yeah, good job.
There's on this. I had another plant that was dying a few days ago, and I took it and I took all the dead leaves off, and there's just a little sign of life, So I put a bunch of crystals in it, and I held one of its little leaves, and I said, I really love you. Can you please live here? Because I love you. I know you don't like it here, but please, you can love it here. We all love it here. And I showed it the other plants. I took it down to the other plants.
Yeah, my best friend is a plant whisperer. I swear I'm still learning. I'm still on the other side coming into
Yeah.
but my best friend, and they sometimes they just want to be by a different plant or something. It's amazing.
I don't think it. So I call my plant areas in my house different neighborhoods. So I have the kitchen neighborhood, and I have the step neighborhood, which is halfway up the steps, and then I have the dining room neighborhood. And I'm like, you just might not like the dining room neighborhood. They're not cool sometimes, I there's a little bit of mean girl stuff going on around here. They're really pretty. I got into the kitchen neighborhood, and I was like, you might like it here better because they're a little bit more down to earth.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that the compassion is the key.
I hope it lives, and I hope the crystals help it. But I don't know. Like, so I'm the same. My point was, I'm the same kind of crazy as you. It's like, I really do believe in impossible things. Like, I really do believe that we only touch this much of life. Like, we don't realize how much ability we really have. And if you just try, you can probably do so many more things than you realize,
Yeah.
Anyway, Patrick says that plants have spirit too. I believe that. My daughter was telling me that, and he said that they love being talked to. I believe that as well. My daughter was telling me that plants actually have some kind of sonar or something. I don't know what she was talking about, but their frequency actually like goes way, way far, and they can sense when their owner is coming home, and they like perk up. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I do a meditation specifically where I ask someone to go into the point of view of a tree. Oh, and a lot of times the people will tell me that they're like, oh, well, I can sense the fire miles away. And we start to prepare, and it's just really interesting the amount of cognizance that a tree has. But I mean, if lava can be sentient, then
well, don't you think, like, so this is my thing. I don't know where we go after this, okay? And I don't really know where we came from before the human experience. I don't know those two things because I don't ask those questions. I think the guides would tell me if I asked, but I'm not really concerned with that right now. I'm concerned with navigating this. The thing is, I know that we're on last lives and almost last lives so often, because I'm coming across a lot of people in my own soul tribe, and I know that my soul tribe is moving on soon. So our soul tribe, I'm sure all of you are in the same
this whole dimension of Earth seems to be expanding.
It's changing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know where we go after this. Like, I know that we go to a different kind of experience. Maybe it's not human, or maybe it is human on a different planet, but maybe it's under the ocean, or maybe it's in the air as some life form there, or maybe it's some kind of experience we don't even know of yet. But if it were up to me, I would want to be every single thing. Like, I would, if you live forever, which I believe that you do, like, I believe that once we're created, we never die, we just transform. Okay, so if that's true, which I believe it is, then I want to be a tree, and I want to be a bug, and I want to be every different kind of bug. I want to be an amoeba. I want to see what that's like. I want to be a cancer cell. I want to see what that's like. I want to be every living thing that is possible. And I especially want to be a tree. Like, I'm pretty sure I've been a tree because I love trees so much. And I always feel like they're alive. They always feel alive to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like a given.
Yeah. Nicole said, oh, Shelly, you love plants. Oh, by the way, hi, Shelly. Nicole said there is a show on Gaia, and if you cut a leaf and take some pictures, you can see the full uncut leaf. Oh, I have seen that. I haven't seen that on Gaia, but I have seen that. Yeah, that they'll cut a leaf and
like it has aura, right?
Memory or something like that. That is so cool. Yeah, well, and humans do that too. Like, if they lose a limb or whatever, that they have some kind of memory or some, I don't know what kind of memory, but something like that. That is so cool.
Well, it's interesting that, there's very few limits to the type of healing that we can have. From what I've read, people, you can regrow limbs, you can do these things. But if you've come into this lifetime to experience what it's like to live without a limb, you're not going to do that, right? So it's very interesting.
You're like, sorry, you said you didn't want to do
said
that.
You were coming in here to, yeah. But it's interesting.
I don't know. I want to explore all the different things because I know that there's so much more that I haven't even heard yet, like not even close, you know. And I want my brain to like almost break because I want it to wrap around all these big ideas, you know, that I can't concept.
Yeah.
Oh, Karen says my big tree in my backyard told me his name is Bob. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah. I've always been obsessed with trees. I've always had favorite trees. And like when I go back home, there was this one tree that I was obsessed with. And it was just this one tree, like on this long, windy road, and it was just there. Someone cut it down. The last couple of times I went there, it's not there. I used to go back home and I used to show it to everybody. I used to always purposely drive out of my way to see that tree because I loved it so much. But yeah, it's not there anymore.
So they have cycles just like we do. So just realize that it's moved on to its next place too, and you can connect with it.
My daughter was told that one of our cats moved on to a beetle life, which I'm not totally sure that it meant that he's a beetle now, because the guide that was talking to her said that it was kind of like a metaphor. But that's what they were talking about. And she goes, do you think he's a beetle? I was like, I don't know. I mean, I hope so. Like, I hope he's doing all the things, you know?
I mean, my baby turned into a fly, and now who knows what they're going to do. My cat turned into
everything possible.
I've interviewed somebody that lived the life of a flower, and when we first started, she's like, I'm underground, I'm trapped under the soil, and my mind's thinking like, what, are you buried alive? What's happening? Oh no, she was a seed turning into a flower.
Wow. Did you ever read the I showed this to Suzanne a few weeks ago. There's this story about two twins in a womb, and they're having a discussion about mother, who's like, they're really talking about God. But the one twin said, like, and I'm going to paraphrase and I'm not good at that. So just so you know, this is my interpretation of what I read. Okay. But the one twin says to the other, do you believe that there's a mother? And the other one's like, there must be. I can feel her all around me. And they're like, no, there's nothing after this. How could there possibly be anything after this? You know? And they talk about it like it's so fascinating. And then like you read it and you go, wait a second. Like then you question all of reality. Like, wait a second. You know? So, but yeah, I will post that because it's such a great story. Like, oh, it's such a good story. And it just makes your brain like expand. So anyway, the giving tree. Sorry, what did you say, Nicole? I had to cut a tree down for a garden and I played this tree. I don't know. I had this tree for 10 years. So I told it what and why, and she asked me to wait a week. So I did. Oh, nice. Oh, you planted this tree. Okay. 10 years ago. Wow. Okay. That's pretty cool. And the giving tree was triggering. I felt like the giving tree was triggering.
So dramatic, isn't it? Take all of me.
That story pisses me off for humanity, honestly.
Yeah, it is very human. Like, it is very
kind of like assholes. And
yeah. I have nothing to forgive you.
I'll just give you everything that I have. Oh, good, because I will just take
I'll
it.
Just take it.
And you will diminish to nothing, and I will be okay with that. Yeah, okay. It's ridiculous. Hi, Lacey. I'm sorry that you're here now because we're getting off of here now. But I love you, and I'm so glad that you stopped in. Anyway, guys, this was a great conversation, and I've loved it. I will see you guys soon. Have a great night, and thanks for being here. And thank you, Julia.
Bye. Thank you.